Like a garden snail leaves a trail behind, a story snail leaves a tail behind. Share our stories and you may find you can tell a story too.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another storytelling assembly where we're thinking about a very special day. The 16th of June every year is the International Day of the African Child, which was set up by the Organisation for African Unity. And it was all put together because back in 1976, some children in South Africa were told that they were going to have to learn in a language that they didn't know. Can you imagine going to school or being told by your grown-ups that you had to learn things in a language that you couldn't even understand? It'd make it very hard, wouldn't it? The thing is, when the children tried to complain about this to the government, a lot of them got hurt very badly. Some of them were even killed. That doesn't really sound right, does it? That's the reason why the Organisation for African Unity used the 16th of June to help everyone in Africa, in fact everyone all over the world, to remember that all children deserve to have a good education, no matter what language they speak. Which is quite important, isn't it? To make sure that no child gets left behind. In fact, that makes me think about a story from Africa which I'd like to share with you now. A story about our old friend Anansi. Now I'm sure you remember that Anansi was a spider and he had lots of children. 6 children, in fact. And they all had different names because of their special abilities. The first, the eldest, was Sita Rubble, because she could see trouble no matter how far away it was. You can show Sita's ability by doing this. Do you want to give it a try? You kind of imagine that you're using a pair of binoculars. Let's go. The next eldest was Carry Plenty, who was able to lift huge amounts of heavy loads onto her back and run really fast with them. You can show Carrie's ability by going like this. Do you want to have a go at that? Let's give it a try. The next eldest was Drinks Rivers, who was able to actually drink an entire river in one gulp. Can you imagine that? Must have been very thirsty work. You can show Drink's ability by imagining you've got a huge straw and going... Do you want to give that a go? Grab your big straw. The next eldest was Paul. Paul's Out. And Paul's Out would be able to get anything out of anywhere. If your sink was blocked, if your toilet was blocked, or if you had a coin that had just rolled down the back of the sofa, Paul's Out would be able to pull it out. And in fact, you can show Paul's ability by going like this. Can you do that? Let's give it a try. The next eldest was Stone Thrower. And I bet you can guess what Stone Thrower's special ability was. He was able to hit something by throwing a stone, even if it was really small, like a 10p piece, about 20 metres away. He would still be able to hit it right in the middle. You can show Stone Thrower's ability by going like this. Do you want to give that a try? And the youngest of all the children was Cushion. Cushion didn't really have a special ability. She was called Cushion because, well, she was really soft. Now, all of the 6 children would always be arguing about which one of them had the best special ability. Do you think it was Sita Rubble? Can you remember her special ability? It goes like this. Or was it Carry Plenty? Can you remember hers? It goes like this. Or was it Drinks Rivers? Can you remember his? It goes like this. Or was it Paul's Out? Can you remember his? It goes like this. Or was it Stone Thrower? Can you remember his special ability? It goes like this. They would all argue all day long about which one of them had the best special power. Well, all of them except for Cushion. I mean, what was special about just being really fluffy? Now, at the start of this story, Anansi had gone out fishing. You probably remember he does that a lot. And while he was out, the children were again arguing over which one of them had the best special power, when suddenly Sita Rubble saw trouble. Can you remember Sita Rubble's ability? See if you can do it with me. And Sita turned to the others and said, "Dad has been eaten by a fish! A huge fish! He's gonna be digested! We have to do something!" Well, of course, none of them were going to be any good to their father there at the house. They needed to get to the river as soon as they could. But how would they be able to get there before he got digested? If only there was someone who would be able to carry them all and run really fast with them through the forest. Of course, Carrie Plenty. Carrie was able to pick up Sita Rubble, pick up Paul Sout, pick up Drinks Rivers, and pick up Stone Thrower. She didn't bother picking up Cushion because, well, what would be the point of having someone along who's just really, really fluffy? And then away she ran through the forest. Can you remember how to do Carrie Plenty's special ability? It's a bit like this. But when they got to the river, they saw in the water there were loads of fish. How would they be able to catch the one with their father inside? They were all moving about so fast. Even Sita was only able to keep an eye on it for a split second each time. If only there was a way that they could get rid of all the water so the fish would just be lying down on the ground for them. Of course, Drinks Rivers. Drinks Rivers got by the edge and used his special ability. Can you remember that one? Grab your straw. Well, now all the water had gone, it was much easier for the children to track down the fish that had their father inside. But how are they going to get him out? Because, well, the mouth of a fish is so very small, isn't it? What they really needed was someone who would be able to reach into anywhere and pull out whatever you needed. Like Paul. Pulls out. Can you remember how to do his special ability? Pulled out his father so quickly that he flew into the air and got caught by an eagle. Now the eagle was flying with their father up higher and higher and higher, and the children realised that they had saved their father from being eaten by a fish, only for him to get eaten by this giant bird. If only there was a way that they could knock that bird out of the sky. Of course, Stone Thrower. Stone Thrower grabbed hold of a stone and saw the bird flying through the sky. Didn't matter that it was getting far away because, well, can you remember Stone Thrower's special ability? Stone Thrower hit the bird, even though it was really far away, right in its stomach, causing it to go blah and drop their father out of the sky. Except now he was falling miles down out of the sky. What could the children do? None of them had a special ability that was going to be able to save him now. He was going too fast for Paul to just pull him out of the sky. It looked as if their father wasn't going to be eaten by a fish, wasn't going to be eaten by a bird, but was instead going to go splat on the ground. But just then, out from the forest came Cushion. Cushion really didn't like being left behind, and so she tried to follow her brothers and sisters to see if she could find out what was going on. And just as she came out of the forest, she heard above her, "Ah!" And when she looked up, she saw her father. She spread herself out as wide as she could so that he landed comfortably on her fluffy body. All of the children gathered around Cushion and their father, so greatly relieved that they had been able to save him from a fish, a bird, and a great fall. And of course they realised that every single one of their abilities had been instrumental in his rescue. Not a single one of them should have been left behind. And that's a very important message, isn't it? Not just for the International Day of the African Child on the 16th of June, but I think it's quite important any day of the year. Maybe you can have a chat with your friends and grown-ups about what special abilities you have that could come in really important one day. Maybe you could turn those thoughts into a story or a picture. And if you do, please remember to send it to us, because we would love to share your story on, maybe even in another storytelling video like this one. Right now though, it only remains for me to say cheerio and hope to hear your story soon. So, cheerio! I hope to hear your story soon.